If you look at the overall power play numbers on the year, you guys are still near the bottom of the league. But if you break it down in the last couple of weeks, this power play has been really good. What has turned it around?
Yeah, we're shooting a lot more simple. We're winning draws when we're breaking into the zone. We're getting in clean, and like I said, just kind of keeping it simple, getting a lot of shots, and some guys are getting rewarded, so it's nice.
Again, it's another game where you're not giving up a lot of goals. I mean, you give up 3. You mentioned in the 4-4, maybe a misread there, but for the most part, that goals against total has been coming down the last couple of games.
Yeah, I think we've done a good job, kind of limiting our turnovers after that Detroit game, and our goaltending has been, outstanding, both of them. The way they've been playing is, pretty impressive. They've been keeping us in games, and we're trying to play well in front of them, and that's why we're playing better than what we have in the past.
This is kind of building off of this, but do you feel like your structure has been pretty sound here for the last few games, where maybe that was a problem early, especially defensively?
Yeah, I mean, we're not shooting ourselves in the foot with turnovers. That was a big problem for us the first 12, 14 games of the season. We just, we're learning from our mistakes, and we're doing a better job at that now for sure. But hopefully, we don't want to let it leak into our game again, because it's a dangerous game to play when you start turning pucks over.
What's your relationship been like with Johnson and Chinakhov? And have you sort of taken on a veteran's role with those two young players?
I mean, they're both really good young players. They're both pretty quiet. I'm pretty quiet too. So, get comfortable with them and chat with them a little bit more, and you're playing with them a little bit more now in the power play a little bit. So, they're pretty good players. So it's been fun playing with those two guys, and hopefully we can keep it going.
We're talking about you guys getting a lot of ice time again here tonight. Eric Robinson actually took a penalty tonight and got into the box, which allowed you to get out there and do a little penalty killing with Sean Corrali. And I know you've been doing penalty killing, but I guess when you're playing on the same line, very easy to step out there and do that with him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're definitely starting to find our groove here, and games show up differently. Some games you feel like you got 7 chances for, but other games you feel like you don't really have a chance to score, but you're in their zone, you're creating things, you're causing turnovers, forechecking, hitting. So that's our job. I mean, to play the game that's in front of us and be the best at it that we can be. And I thought again tonight my line mates did a really good job.
Yeah, and unlike the other night where at the end you were leaning on kind of 2 lines, tonight everybody kept on playing the whole way through, and that is a positive out of this game, isn't it?
Absolutely. It was a hard-fought game, and everyone was involved. I don't think we had any passengers tonight. It's hard. Like I said, it's a hard-fought game, and everyone's competing, and right to the end we're there, and we're trying, and it's good. It's definitely a positive, but at the end of the day we need wins. And this one stings, I'm not going to lie to you. It was a hard-fought game, and we'll come up short.
Kent, we've seen you make so many great passes so far this year and setting up other guys. How nice was it for you just to slap one home yourself here tonight?
Yeah, no, definitely. It felt good. It was obviously a big goal at the time, so it felt good in the moment.
What are you seeing on that power play right now? It just looks like everybody that's on it, on that unit that you're on, is starting to gel and figure it out together.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think the biggest thing, we're breaking it in really well and making those plays under pressure to get set up really well. It seems we're getting set up every time, and that's half the battle. So that's been really good. And then, we've been lucky to bury some lately.
And the mindset of that power play that you get, 5-on-3, full 2 minutes, especially when Chinakhov gets the goal just, 33 seconds in there, whatever it was, you really get that feeling that, hey, we can do this. We can get this back to a tie game right here.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, 2-minute 5-on-3 is a huge opportunity. And, like you said, once we got the first one, it was looking up at the clock, knowing we got a lot of time left. It was really nice.
How much does that bleed into what happens at the end of the game, too, when you pull the goaltender? I know you didn't get the goal tonight to tie it, but, again, you're still zipping it around the zone. Johnny kept it in a couple of times, and it looked like they might get it out. The things that you're doing on the power play, it seems like it transfers to that when you have to pull the goaltender at the end there, too.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I think we had our looks there, 6-on-5, obviously. The one I liked back at the end there, last 5 seconds. But, if we keep going like that, we can definitely score a lot of goals.
Seems like you and Boone, with the screens and everything, you started to get comfortable shooting when he's in front there.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think he's really good at screening. He's obviously done it a long time and made a living in front of the net there on the power play. So, yeah, it's pretty easy for me just try to pick my spots.
Is that something where you on that play you kind of looked up and saw him there and was like, I'm just going to clap this one? Or
Yeah, no, I mean, I knew he was there screening, and yeah, I mean, I just kind of thought if I could get a slap shot to it, probably has a decent chance. So, luckily went in.
how much just how much fun is it to go through in a period like that? Like you just mentioned the 2 goals you guys scored, 2 young guys scoring them. You know that obviously this team wants to be a big part of this future. You guys come through one after the other to tie it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, yeah, like I said, it was really fun in the moment. Those power plays, and yeah, definitely, it was a good game. Obviously, too bad we didn't come out of the right side of it, but yeah, it was definitely fun in moments.
It's probably hard in a loss, but can you use moments like that to kind of look and see what this team could become and what you guys can do specifically to help out down the line?
Yeah, I guess, but I think we're not really looking too far down the line. I mean, obviously, everyone knows we're young and hopefully can be really good players for a long time, but right now we're just kind of looking at game by game and trying to get better right now.
It's kind of similar to the other night where I'm guessing you're pretty happy with the structure, just needed a couple bounces.
Yeah, played well. There's not much to criticize tonight. Mistake there on the 4-4 goal cost us, but effort was there. We had our looks. It was a pretty solid game again.
One thing that stands out from early in the season is it does feel like your structure is dramatically better, at least especially in the defensive zone. Do you feel like you've sort of found some traction with how you want to play?
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. We made some changes and get some different guys. It takes some time. Everybody wants to fast track things early on, and we played some pretty quality teams too. You got to realize that. So you get exposed, and things piled up with injuries and different things. So I think they're starting to grasp it. We're almost at that quarter point, right? Yeah, it's coming. We've got a lot of new faces in there too, so they're doing a good job.
After starting this season, 0 for 20, whatever it was on the power play, you guys have really started having success. Is there any 1 or 2 things that have changed in terms of the structure on the power plays, or just better execution?
Yeah, it's not so much the structure. The structure's always been there, but I think Paz has done an excellent job of, we've had guys in and out a lot, and they simplified some things. I think they've done a real good job in the practices and how we want to attack these teams. And I've always said it: success builds success, right? You start feeling good, you feel confident, and all of a sudden you're finishing. And obviously, it was a big moment to get 2 there in a row.
I'm sure you prefer not to get the extra penalty there with Olivier, but it seems like you guys got a pretty decent lift off that, and 3 minutes later, you tie it up. Mm-hmm. This game, it was him, and then I think last game, Goodbranson kind of did the same thing. Are you starting to see, especially from those 2 guys in particular, kind of what you guys envisioned, the toughness, the grit, that kind of thing being added to the lineup with those guys?
Yeah, and they both are players. It's again, it's not just. It's a skill set they have, and Ollie's been very willing. He's had 5 real tough customers, and yeah, the penalty. You got to give these guys a little bit of leeway. He's got to be able to play on the edge. Sometimes he goes a little bit over, but that's a heck of a moment there. And fought a tough guy there in Lee, and he did very well. It was a big moment, I think, for the bench and our team, and it was energizes. So yeah, those 2 guys they bring a presence that I felt we desperately needed, and you can see it. And the temperature in games this year are much different than they were last year when we played bigger, heavier teams.
I think it's kind of a new role for Johnny Gaudreau to be a sort of a mentor to younger players. He grew up in this league as a young guy. Do you sense him impacting Kent Johnson, Chinikov? Have you talked to him about that, or have you witnessed that?
No, we haven't talked about it. I think these guys know. I mean, he's been around for quite a while, and he's a quiet guy. And I think, to be honest with you, I think Johnny's been more trying to find, his spot. It's a new environment, new everything, new coaches, new teammates. So I don't think he's a huge talker by nature, but you can see he's getting more comfortable around his teammates and getting to know them, and vice versa. So I think you just watch him, and even tonight, I mean, every time he's on the ice, he's can be dangerous in a real positive way. He gets a couple points, but he could have had 3 or 4 easily tonight. He's got that knack, and as he gets more confident with the puck too, in some of these games, you see it's just on a string for him. So, I think these young guys watch him, and he's a good guy to watch.